Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of SWACTalk. This is the show where we cover the SWAC inside and out. And as you can see, I got another special guest with me. I've had a lot of Tech Southern guys the last few days, so I wanted to switch it up and go with the home team. So we got Mr. Luke Jackson in the house. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? It's an honor being here. I appreciate the opportunity.
I'm, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for stopping by. Before we go any further, I like to call you the Brave Killer, so that's your name from now on.
I like it.
Hey, that's good. That's good. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Um, what got you into football?
It's a funny story. I was a soccer player all my life, so I always had a background using my feet. And after soccer practice one time, I went over to the football field to mess around with my friend because all the coaches were out there, and like we had one of the best teams in the state at the time. So I wanted to like show off. Kind of, I know they didn't have a kicker, so I was out there. My best friend started just holding for me, and I started kicking. I moved back and I started kicking like 45 yarders and then I hit a 50 yarder, and like all the coaches walked over to me and they like, what's your name? We seen you on the soccer field. We know you're good at soccer. Do you want to come sign up and play football? And I was just like, yeah. And it was like something new. Like I didn't even tell my parents that day until the very next day. I just took the opportunity and I was just blessed to be a part of the football team.
So you kicked 50 yarder out the gate with no.
Yeah, the only difference is I took a lot of steps. It wasn't the normal 3 steps you take as a kicker. It was a lot more, which is it's still hard to do, but it was a lot more steps I was able to take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care how many steps you take. That's still hard. Like a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to even kick an extra point. So that's 50 yards. No, no real training at field goal kicking. That's crazy. So, tell me about your high school career. How was your time in high school?
My high school career was pretty good. When I started playing, I sat behind a senior kicker at the time. So I think at this time I was a junior. So I just shadowed him all year. I just learned, developed, and I grew over time. And when he graduated my senior year, I got the opportunity to be the starter. I was named the starter. We were one of the best teams in the state, so we didn't kick a lot of field goals. I had a perfect season. I went 4 for 4 on field goals. Only had 4. The farthest of I think 32 yards. So it was an honor to help my team any way that I could. It was a blessing. But I had a very good high school career. It was a very short high school career. So
Well, you made the most out of the time that you got. So that's all that matters.
yes, sir.
So, how was your journey to Southern? What made you choose Southern?
I was blessed by the grace of God. I always tell the story. It started from after high school. I was committed to a school, Monmouth University in New Jersey, Division I FCS, one of the top programs in the Big South Conference. And I was offered a scholarship. And then when I got there, COVID happened, and they took my scholarship away because their guys got another year of eligibility, which crushed me. Like coming out of high school, you're staying close to home. The family would have been right there, watched all my games. So it was just another like a block I had to get over. So I got over that, and I was gonna commit to a JUCO, and the JUCO messed me over too. And then I got the opportunity to get awarded a full scholarship to a prep program, a first year prep program. Nobody knew about them, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the opportunity. I was always a very outgoing guy, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Florida, and I lived in Florida for 3 months, and I had a great season in Florida. Played against IMG, the best teams in Florida, and then I got invited to a camp out there, and the camp changed my life. I won the camp as a kicker. I got ranked a 5-star, a 4.5-star punter. And at the time, the money in football was really gone because of COVID. It killed it. So all the money was in SWAC teams. I got offered from Alcorn, from Mississippi Valley State, and Southern was my favorite one, which is why I'm here today. I love the colors of Southern. I love the family atmosphere of Southern. I did my research on all of them, and Southern was for me, and I knew it. God knew it. My family knew it, and I'm blessed to be here.
Well, I'm just glad that you here and not at Alcorn because you could have the role could have been flipped, and I could be upset at you. So I'm glad you made the right choice.
Yes, sir.
But speaking of family, you're a long way from home. How has that been?
It's definitely a challenge. Like I said, right now I'm at a weird point. I'm just trying to stay mentally strong. I'm trying to stay physically strong. Being away from home, I've had a lot on my plate. I've had some tragic deaths in my family, very close to me. So I haven't had the opportunity to cope with them as much as I should. So I'm just really trying to concentrate on my mental health right now. I know a lot of guys say it. A lot of people suffer from it, and I'm fighting it every day. I know it's I can put a spot on my face. I can go kick footballs, but at the end of the day, I'm going through something tragic that people think there's no way out sometimes, and I'm just battling to get through that. I talk to my family every single day. I got the best family in the world. I got the most supportive family in the world. My cousins, aunts, uncles, everything. It keeps me going. I'm the one they look up to. The first one to play a college sport. First one to go Division 1. It was everything's a blessing. Just taking it day by day and trying to stay mentally strong through it all.
Well, I understand mental health. I've battled some things myself, so I understand how that is. And family is definitely important. Oh, has your family been able to come to many games?
They had the opportunity to come to FAMU. They surprised me for my FAMU game. We were doing the Jag walk, and they were just came out of nowhere. So that made my day. So they came to the FAMU game. They came to the Bayou Classic, and I think that was it. With their work schedule, that was the only 2 games they can make. But I know for this year coming up, they're going to make the LSU game, the Bayou Classic, and I think that depending on their schedule, that's the 2 games they got marked off right now.
All right, well, hey, anytime you can see them, that's always good. And to get a surprise like that, I'm sure that kind of boosted you up a little bit more that day. So with you being relatively still new to kicking, at least football, is there anybody who has influenced you as a kicker?
Most definitely. I train with a lot of guys at the highest level. I train with Jake Elliott, being I'm from Philadelphia, so I train with Jake Elliott in New Jersey. I was blessed to do that. I train with guys like Katie York, who's now the starter for the Cleveland Browns, and he took me under his wing. I kicked at LSU a couple times with him, and he really was the one who helped me grow and develop and get to where I am today. I was blessed to be when I came to Southern. I had to sit out 1 season, so I sat behind Cesar Barajas, who was a star. He was a great person, a great mentor. He really took me under his wing and told me everything there was about kicking, about the Southern atmosphere, the family atmosphere, the crowd, the stadiums. Just he really enlightened me on everything, the positives, the negatives, block out this, block out that. So I've had a lot of great opportunities to learn from the best. And I still, every day, I text the best. Like, I try to be the best, so I have to train with the best. It's my mentality.
That's a good mentality to have. You never stop learning. And if you get those good mentors, you always want to keep in touch with them and build on your skills. So that's something that never goes away. So let's talk about the Alcorn game, man. I want to know how how were you feeling leading up to that last drive?
Butterflies. I say it all the time. My family always talks about it. My friends always talk about it. I've never been put in a situation like that. I've always worked game-winning situations, and it's funny because that week we really emphasized game-winning situations. We practiced on our field doing kicks from 47 yards, which is very weird. I think I kicked a 45-yarder to win the scrimmage game the day before. So we had things in place to get me in the right state of mind. And then being a kicker, you need to be mentally strong through it all. So at the time, I think my mentality is really what gets me through everything. I think I have the strongest mentality possible for kicking. And I'm just trying to work on that, build on that, because really being a kicker, yes, your form, the kicks, everything matters, but really it's what you can do under pressure, what you can do in front of 28,000 people. That's really what makes or breaks a kicker at the level that I'm at. And I'm blessed to say that I've worked to get to a point where I can handle the crowds. I live for the crowds. I love playing in front of 30,000 people, 28,000 people, and it makes me more comfortable. You would think I would be nervous and get butterflies, but kicking in front of a big crowd of people really it gives me motivation. It's like I'm putting on for the crowd, and I love it. So I had butterflies, but I knew I could do it.
So when it went through, what went through your mind when it went through?
It was crazy. I was really trying to watch the ball go through. I knew when the ball came off my foot, it felt very good. And then I looked up and I looked back, and I still have the picture for that when I'm looking over the line's shoulders and I'm trying to watch the ball go in, and I see the ball drift left. And in my head, I'm like, wow. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm still watching the ball go in, and I'm looking up, and my teammates just start tackling me. And I'm thinking, okay, it went in. And then I heard everything go off, the sirens go off, the fireworks go off, and I was just, it was butterflies. I didn't want to be under a dog pile, and I knew that was going to be the outcome. So I just ran the whole field in the Alcorn fans' faces, and it's weird because I have a lot of love for Alcorn. It's a little weird situation between me and their special teams coach because I've always showed him love, and I know being a coach, he wanted me to go there, and I picked Southern over Alcorn. So it was crazy because we talked about a game-winning field goal before the game started, me and my roommates, and the fact that it came true was just a dream come true.
Yes, that sounded like that was just destined to happen. Practice all week at that distance, get the kick in the game at that distance. It was just meant to be. So I'm glad it happened. And just one thing from my perspective, I sit in the north end zone, and I was sitting directly behind the goalpost, and I watched that ball go through, and I went crazy because it's been a long time since we beat Alcorn. So when that ball went through, man, I lost it. So
I didn't know that either. As soon as the kick went in after the game, I've had my teammates come out to me crying, and they're like, "That's the first time we beat Alcorn in 4 or 5 years." And I was just like, "Wow!" Like I was still processing everything, so I was like, I really didn't take it in, but I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to do that game in that magnitude. So it was amazing.
So how was everything after that? Like Sunday, Monday, did you get did more people know who you were?
Most definitely. It felt like a dream come true, something that I've always worked for, to be that person that everybody looks at. And just walking around campus, hearing my name get called, Luke Jackson, Brave Killer, like it was all such positive enlightenment, and it was a blessing something that I worked for all my life to get to on a platform where people know me for what I do and what I've been working so hard that no one sees what I really do behind closed doors, what I really go through. Like it's so hard for people to go through a phase and then come out on top and get through, just like I said, life's hard. And like, especially right now, I'm taking it all in, and I'm thinking about getting to the season. I'm trying to do my best. I'm gonna make through this little thing that I got going. But right now, everything's good. I felt amazing after it. Everybody knew me. The fans, which I love, the Southern fans, they all knew me, and they all took me under their wing. So everything was amazing.
Oh, well, you good now. From now on, you're good. So don't even worry about it. During the season, you started off a little slow, but you finished 9 for 12 and 6 of 8 from 40 plus, which is crazy to me. And 7 of 7 in your last 7 kicks. So you had a very good season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I know I had a rough start. I had a shaky start. I was just getting used to the college football atmosphere. I was just getting used to everything, and just talking with my family, my peers, watching film, playing games continuously. It really got my mind right to put me in a position where I knew I could do it in front of 30,000 people, in front of 25,000 people. Like I said, it feels wrong when I'm doing it in front of 2,000. Like I love it, but just the big atmosphere is what I live for. I live for kicking in front of big crowds. I want to do it for the rest of my life, and that's the goal.
Well, you every big crowd you had, you kicked great. Bayou Classic, unfortunately, the game didn't turn out our way, but you had a 40-plus yarder in that game. Jackson State, I think you had a nice field goal. FAMU, so you kicked well in pressure situations. So, what's the difference between kicking in high school and kicking in college?
I think the biggest thing with kicking in high school and kicking in college is the transition to competition. I had a competition in high school, but I was in a situation where I wasn't very good at the time, so I needed that sit behind the senior for one season to really learn how to kick. And when he left, I was one-on-one with another guy. I beat him out for the job, but I've always been a competitive person. I come from a very competitive family who always taught me the right way to compete. I don't like losing. So I always say in the most confident way. I know being a kicker at a Division I school, they bring 4 or 5 guys in. Right now we have one other guy on the roster that was going to do field goals, but I'll never get beat up for the field goal job because of my, and I say in the most confident way, I have nothing but love for the other guys here, but I'm just in a place where it's hard to beat me. I'm so confident in my craft and what I do, and I'm a perfectionist, which is good and bad, but I live for this. And the transition and kicking in front of the fans, that just comes with it. There was no training to kick in front of 30,000 people, 28,000 people. That just, I asked questions about it to my teammates, and they're like, you just got to be there. You just got to learn. The butterflies are going to come every game. Going out first kick, it's going to all go away. And it did. It went away. Just being out there and putting on a good performance on the field and the fans showing me love was a more confidence boost. I went out and just did what I did to the best of my ability.
Well, like I said, you're only gonna get better as as you perform more. So it's a great start for you, but it's only gonna get better. Do you prefer kicking on grass or turf?
Turf, definitely. Grass is it's different to kick on grass. It's hard to kick on grass because of all the divots on the field, all the the place people dig out on the field, playing on the soccer field. Like kicking on a turf is definitely better. It's definitely harder at the same time because you have to get more distance on it. You have to get more height on it, which is all form. Kicking on a grass field, you can get away with more things than people realize. But everything kicking on turf is harder. But I definitely prefer turf over grass.
All right. So coming into this season, do you have any goals for this upcoming season?
I do. I like to say it in the most confident way, but I'm very confident I can compete with the best in the conference. I want to be an all conference kind of guy. But all in all, I just want to put on for my team. I want to do the best I can possibly do for me and my guys and hopefully win some more games. I want to, I have goals set on being an all conference kind of guy, win the player of the week a couple times like I did last season. It's all based on what I can perform on the field, and I know I can do it. And it's just speaking it into reality will really help me make them dreams come true again. And I have a very high standard for myself, which is good. Like I said, I'm a perfectionist, which is you struggle with sometimes, but I hold myself to a very high standard where I want to. People look at me and they're like, "Wow, you want to be this?" Like coming out of high school, "Wow, you want to kick Division I?" Like that's like a 2% chance of that happening. But it's like when the odds are against me, I feel like I'm on my strongest and I'm at my peak. So I live for moments like this, and I have really high standards coming for this next season to put on a show against LSU. Hopefully, we come out and perform well, and that's going to be just putting on for my family back home. I know they watch from such a far distance on TV, and being on the platform to kick in front of them on ESPN, on the SEC network is just a dream come true. Everything I worked for is finally coming true.
Well, like I said, I'll be at every game, man. I don't miss a game, so I'm definitely gonna be rooting you on. Let's shift off the field for a couple of minutes, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
How was it coming from Pennsylvania to Louisiana?
It was a big culture change. It was definitely a big culture change. I think the biggest thing that transferred over was the family atmosphere. Being in Philadelphia, where I come from, there is a very positive area that I live in. It's definitely everywhere you go, little things happen, but you got to get over that, and it's life. It comes with it. But the food is definitely probably the biggest difference. A lot of the spicy food I hear, the Cajun food, I definitely love it. Like I tried crawfish for my very first time after the Alcorn game actually, and it's very spicy. I like it. It was something I would never thought I was gonna try, but I did, and I loved it. So it's definitely the food is the biggest thing out here, but the family atmosphere is my favorite thing. Just the Southern people, the way they adore Southern University football is I wouldn't imagine myself playing any other SWAC school, any other school, like any other big school. Like Southern is for me, it's the perfect spot, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're adjusting, and like you said, the food is something that cannot be replicated anywhere else. But, it takes a little bit of adjusting. So I'm glad you're kind of working that out. So what kind of music do you like to listen to?
I like to listen to very soothing music, positive music. I play a lot of Meek Mill being from Philadelphia, I play a lot of influential music, and I really tune into the lyrics before the games, where I'm coming from, like my story. It's all, I came from a very great family atmosphere, but also I came from getting everything working for everything. I was never handed anything, so I listened to a lot of positive music and just really catching the lyrics and really like speaking the lyrics into reality and just singing them positive, influential songs before games really get me in that right mood to go out and kick 49-yard field goals and kick 47-yard field goals and game winners. I think I can do anything I want when the opportunity is given to me, and that's a blessing because I can put myself in them situations in front of the coaches to build the trust. And I think I can kick any field goal from any distance my coach has the faith in me to do.
Well, I see your leg on Twitter, so I know you're working hard. So keep up the work. So other than anything that you've had here, what is your all-time favorite food?
My all-time favorite food is definitely steak. I'm a big steak guy. Me and my family always have barbecues back home with my grandparents, my cousins, my uncles, my family. Like I said, I have a very loving family, so I'm always with them, which is hard to be away from them now. But I know they love me. They want to see me be great and achieve big things. So I'm doing my best out here.
Well, hey, like I said, you got another family here, so we got you as well. What do you like to do off the field?
I like to work out. I know everybody says, "What's your life away from football?" And it's like, I'm so dedicated. I'm so devoted to football, perfecting my craft. I feel at peace when I'm on the field. I feel at peace when I'm running, when I'm working out. And definitely just speaking to my family. Like I said, I have such love I came from a very loving family, brothers. I have 3 other brothers. So, and my cousin, everybody that looks up to me being on the level that I'm at, because they know where I came from. They know how hard I worked for this opportunity. It's just a blessing.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But before we do, is there anything you want to say to the fans out there?
Southern, go Jags. I love the Southern atmosphere. I love everything about Southern. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be at Southern, to be named the kicker. I know I'm going to have to work for my job every single time, but that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to compete. I don't think anybody's going to beat me out by any circumstances. I'm very confident in what I do. I think I can kick in front of any crowd, and I love the mentality the Southern fans bring, and it's an honor to play in front of you guys. And I'm going to keep doing what I do to put on for you guys and win some ball games for us. But go Jags!
You heard it from the man himself. This is Luke the Legend, Luke the Brave Killer, Luke the Leg, whatever you want to call him. I don't. Do you have a nickname?
I don't. A lot of guys call me different things. A lot of my teammates still call me the Brave Killer, which I love. But I see a lot of guys on Twitter with the Luke the Legend and Luke the Leg and logo Luke, and I love it. I don't think you guys understand. Like I said, no one understands what I go through behind closed doors, and just the love and the support from the Southern fans. And I hope they see this. I hope this is really, you guys keep me going, and you guys keep me at Southern doing what I love to do, because like I said, all the things that I'm going through, it's hard. Southern is the fans seeing the love on Twitter for me posting a kicking video. It really keeps me going, and it really keeps me want to stay here, because I know, just like you said, I have a family away from home, and it's an honor, and I'm blessed.
All right, everybody. Like I said, this is the man. So I'd like to thank you, man, for joining us. I know this was kind of a last minute kind of thing, but I definitely appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with me. So we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, and y'all catch us another edition of SWACTalk.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.